Здравствуйте! Рады приветствовать вас в прямом эфире экстренных новостей, которые
Hello,
выходят каждое
we welcome
воскресенье
you
в
in Climate
13:00
Breaking
по
News,
Гринвичу на канале
which
ALLATRA
takes
TV.
place on ALLATRA TV every
Проект
Sunday
«Экстренные
at
новости», как и все
1
видео на ALLATRA TV,
o'clock Greenwich
создается
Mean Time.
самими
The Breaking News
участниками,
project, just like
волонтерами
all the videos on
Международного
ALLATRA TV, is
общественного
created by
движения «АЛЛАТРА»
volunteers
в
of
свободное
ALLATRA
от работы
International
время.
Public Movement in their free time.
В этом выпуске мы расскажем
In this episode,
аномальный снег
we will
в
tell about
Греции и
abnormal snow in
России,
Greece and Russia,
серия
a series of
катаклизмов в США,
disasters in the United States,
штормы,
storms,
торнадо,
tornadoes, ice
ледяное
tsunami,
цунами и
hail,
град,
floods, hail,
наводнения,
and power
град
storms
и
in
мощные
countries
бури
all
в
over the
странах
world.
мира. В самом разгаре весны
In the
в
middle of
Греции
spring, an abnormal
аномально
snow
выпал
fell in
снег,
Greece,
чем
which
немало
surprised
удивил
local
местных
residents.
жителей.
And in
В то же
Russia,
самое время в
after spring
России
heat,
после
some
весеннего
residents were
тепла
covered with
на
abnormal
некоторые регионы
snowfall
страны
and strong
обрушились
winds.
аномальные снегопады
ALLATRA TV
и
reporter
сильный
from
ветер.
Slovakia will tell us
Подробнее об этом
more
расскажет
about this.
репортер АЛЛАТРА ТВ из Словакии Златица. Златица, здравствуйте.
Добрый день, Константин.
Приветствую вам в прямом эфире и передаем вам слово. Пожалуйста.
Ďakujem. S vami je reportérka ALLATRA TV zo Slovenska, Zlatica. Vyskytli neobvyklé poveternostné javy. Silný vietor,
In the second half of April 2020, abnormal weather events were observed in the northern central regions of Greece, strong wind snowfalls, and a drop in temperature to zero. In the community of Ionia, the snow covered some areas, reached 15 centimeters. This weather is abnormal for the area. Because the temperature this time of the year averages on 20 degrees Celsius. April, after 20 degrees heat wave in the cyclone Amur region in Russia, in Blagoveshchensk, snow fell almost twice as much as during the winter months. Due to the snow results in congestions on the roads, some roads leading to the city were blocked. Flights were cancelled due to visibility problems at the airport. This is the most powerful April snowfall in the Amur region in the latest 25 years. An unusual change in weather was observed in Chelyabinsk. On the April 21st, 2020, in the middle of the spring, zero sub-temperature unexpectedly returned to snowfall. It is worth noticing the weather changes were observed in the April 25, 2020. A powerful atmospheric front raced across the territory of the Middle Volga region, Russia, accompanied by heavy rains and strong winds. Unfortunately, there is a dead and injured people. Gale forces winds tore roofs, homes, felled trees, and snapped power lines. We were told only about some regions of the planet where normal temperature changes were observed, but in fact, sharp change in weathers are already recorded everywhere. A warm and sunny day can be abruptly replaced by cold and strong winds, and such weather changes can occur several times a day. We in Slovakia had also seen sudden changes in temperature and weather for a long time, an unusual natural phenomenon also which is important, and it's in reality with the calendar. All this and the consequence of the global change and changes all around the world. We cannot influence these processes as a humanity. We have to all agree in our power, the power of love and kindness. And this naturally creates in us the need to connect, support each other, and help each other is difficult in life situation. And thanks to really advanced science, we can predict this catastrophic, and we can conquer it and help. The world is given to the studio. Thank you so much, Zala, for your news, and we are continuing. The weather in different countries is becoming more and more unpredictable. For example, in United States of America, it was hit by a series of disaster. It is tornado seasons in the country, which is usually lasts from February to November. But the number of tornadoes that were registered in the first 2 months of this year, it actually shows the growth in number in 1.5 times during the same period of last year, of the same period 2019. That the citizens of Minnesota State suffered from a rare phenomena of an ice tsunami. More in detail on those cataclysms and information will tell you the reporter of ALLATRA TV from the US, Tina. Tina,
Greetings.
Greetings.
Welcoming you from the studio, and we are giving you the floor. Please begin.
Hello, I'm a ALLATRA TV reporter from USA. On April 20th, 2020, in Miley Lake, Minnesota, a icy tsunami struck houses along the coast. Fortunately, there was no casualties. Heavy wind gusts pushed huge amounts of thawing ice ashore. As a result, an ice wall about 9 meters high was formed, which was moved towards residential buildings and damaged some of them. About 7 years ago, the locals had already encountered such a phenomenon. A ice tsunami is rare and not fully understood. It is much slower than a water tsunami. However, its power can be so destructive that it destroys trees and houses that stand in its way. On April 22nd, 2020, a tornado hit the city of Alaska in eastern Texas. Unfortunately, there was reports of casualties and injured people. The tornado left behind about 500 damaged homes and completely destroyed buildings. Hundreds of people were homeless. The locals came together to help each other. They provided help to the victims and took part in the debris removal that had been caused by this disaster. Also, storms and tornadoes hit southern United States. Regrettably, there were damaged and injured dead people. Powerful wind damaged many houses and downed trees. More than 100,000 people were left without electricity. Some places were flooded. On April 25th, 2020, a heavy hailstorm struck the northern part of Louisiana. Fortunately, there was no casualties. Baseball-sized hailstorms damaged homes, cars, and some farmlands. Thank you. I would like to give the word back to the studio.
Thank you, Tina, for your
we are
news.
continuing.
Мы продолжаем.
Understanding the whole importance of tracking in real time and understanding the whole importance of real climate changes on the planet, their causes and consequences, at this moment of time on the platform of international public movement ALLATRA, there is an implemented of a project that is called Climate Control. In the framework of this project, there is a cycles of scientific programs that includes about the relation of the processes occurring inside of our planet Earth and on its surface, with also space and astronomical processes in the universe, as well as interviews with specialists and scientists from various fields of science. Let's see the presentation of this project with you, and afterwards we'll continue our live broadcast. Greetings. As for today, global climate change on Earth is an obvious fact. Catastrophic increase in seismic activity. The number of awakening volcanoes reaches a critical point. A continental line of Antarctica is completely changed due to the constant and rapid melting of glaciers. Tornadoes and hurricanes, floods. Yes, the Earth is on the verge of global climate changes, and it is a fact, but what does the modern human being knows about that? How it is regarded in scientific world? What role does humanity itself plays in this process? We want you to investigate it together with us. In the second decade of April 2020, Residents of many countries of the world suffered from the severe flooding. The element forced people to leave their homes, and particularly leaving destroyed infrastructure and homes afterwards. More in detail on this cataclysms in the world will tell you more the reporter from Canada, Andrei.
Andrew, greetings.
Greetings, Konstantin.
Welcoming you from the studio, and we are giving you the floor. Please begin.
Thank you. This is ALLATRA TV reporter from Canada. On April 19th, 2020, a powerful storm with large hail reached in Guizhou Province, China. In Pingtung County, the wet weather has led to streams of water in the streets. The buildings were also damaged and power supply problems arose. Fortunately, there were no casualties. From 22nd to 24th, devastating storms, thunderstorms, and hail struck the northern provinces of Vietnam. Unfortunately, there were dead and injured. The disaster has severely damaged about 6,000 homes, and in central Quang Binh province, floods have damaged vast areas of crops. People were relocated to safer areas. Also, at the end of April 2020, the heat in different parts of India was replaced by heavy rains and thunderstorms. In several areas, rainfall caused the flooding of homes and farmland, and massive hail broke the roofs. In some districts, heavy rain continued for 24 hours. In northeastern Brazil, heavy rains caused flooding in the city of Caruaru on 26th of April 2020. In just 6 hours, almost a month rainfall has fallen. The flooded streets were like rivers. Some residents were trapped in water in their homes. There were rescue operations all over the city. The emergency situation was declared. In late April 2020, the Canadian province of Alberta experienced severe flooding. One death has been reported. Ice jams in local rivers have caused water levels to rise. Settlements, including the city of Fort McMurray, have been flooded. In some places, the water reached the roofs of houses. This led to the evacuation of about 13,000 people. According to the locals, the floods have not been that severe for the last 100 years. Floods are among the most dangerous natural disasters. They are not as sudden as other cataclysms, but their consequences are often very serious. In many cases, local people are warned the flooding is approaching. Therefore, it is very important not to ignore such warnings and do not hope the disaster will pass by. After all, the most important value to be preserved is life. Thank you. Passing my microphone to studio now.
Thank you, Andrew. Как обеспечить человечеству автономную жизнь?
How to ensure humanity's and autonomous
Об открытиях,
life
которые могли бы это
in its
сделать,
extreme climatic conditions.
давным-давно.
The discoveries that could have done that in science has known for a long time. But in the modern society and its format that is dominated by consumer way of thinking, there's no place for such discoveries. And there's many reasons for that. Not only the consumer format of thinking of the society itself, but also a selfish worldview and the search of personal gain in the minds of people themselves. But it can be different, and it could be different, another choice. A creative society. The society where scientific discoveries would be used for the goodness and wellness of the people. The society where the human being and human values would be the main ones in the place. The knowledge placed in primordial astrophysics report opens the endless horizon of possibilities for the humanity. And it's not the fantasy anymore, but it's a possible reality of today. Let's watch the next video together and continue our live broadcast afterwards.
How can humanity live independently in extreme climate conditions on Earth and in space? Knowledge of primordial astrophysics opens access to an inexhaustible source of energy, which is everywhere, including in outer space. This is renewable energy, and it can become available here and now to every person under any conditions, both on Earth and in space. The ability to receive it, to transfer it from one state to another, opens a new, safe and easily accessible source of alternative energy for every person. Nuclear power plants will disappear as useless. Oil, gas, and other currently no energy sources will lose their relevance due to the complexity of their production, storage, exhaustion of these resources, and their environmental hazard. The consumer market will disappear as useless. After all, everything, food, clothes and house, car, each person can produce it independently, free of charge, and in necessary quantity. In such conditions, a qualitatively new transition of civilization to the channel of spiritual self-development, large-scale scientific knowledge of the world and oneself is possible. But there is also a danger of using such discoveries for selfish purposes. As you know, the harm or benefit of any epochal discovery is based on the balance of dominance of a particular worldview of the majority. The report, Primordial ALLATRA Physics, was made by the International Research Group of ALLATRA International Public Movement.
From the report on the problems and consequences of global climate changes on Earth and effective ways to solve those issues, only advanced preparation and unity of people and nations of the world in the face of threatening natural dangers and disasters give humanity a greater chance of survival and joint overcoming of difficulties in the era associated with global climate change on the planet. Understanding all of that, today at the platform of ALLATRA International Public Movement, there is an implementation of the joint and wonderful project that is called Creative Society. As a part of this project, volunteers of International Public Movement ALLATRA from more than 180 countries of the world, they make interviews in their cities to clarify whether do really people want to change consumer society format to the creative one. And how do they see this creative society in their own eyes and visions? The more people would express their opinion for the creative society, the faster the model of creative society will be unfolded and implemented. If you want to know more about the project Creative Society, we welcome you to visit the website allatraunites.com. Let us now watch one of the interviews like that, and we'll continue our live broadcast afterwards.
Now we have the project The Future is Now.
Yes.
About the society, where do you would like to live? Can you please describe this society?
First of all, it's a very interesting question. I believe that the society we would like to live in, or I would like to live in, is a society that basically knows that life starts with each and every person. Yes, so my society starts with me. And I am trying every day to be a better person as I was yesterday. And by doing that, I believe that the person next to me will see that change. And so I hope to have a ripple effect on my next person, my wife, my children, my boss, my colleagues. And I think by that I will have a society that I would like to live in. I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but my ideal future would be that I can talk to anybody, anywhere in the world, without being judged, right? Like I would not judge you and you would not judge me, but I can speak to you as a human being, and that we have the ability to talk about our differences without fighting about it. Because I think the most strongest thing we have is the way we can communicate. And if I give you time to give me your argument, then I can give you my argument. And while we are talking, we can find a solution. And once we have a solution, we can work with that. And that's, I think, is the basis. It's all between you and me and everybody else here. It starts with us. And that's a society I would like to see. That every person looks inside himself, be honest to himself, be honest to his family, to his friends. So I really hope that we will have an honest and productive, efficient society where money is not the basis anymore for being good or being bad. No, but being honest and truthful.
Дорогие друзья, приглашаем вас присоединиться к этой созидательной инициативе. Снимайте свои лайф-влоги о том, каким вы видите
We
созидательное
invite you to join this initiative. Make your live vlogs on how you see the creative society. Place them on your social network platforms and your pages with 3 hashtags that you see on your screens. Hashtag ALLATRA, hashtag ALLATRA Unites, and hashtag Creative Society. The most interesting videos we will show and broadcast in our next episodes of our program.
Изменения климата на сегодняшний день уже видны.
Climate change is already and so far visible on every continent and in every country. For the elements and for the nature forces, there's no borders, there's no different in nationality, religion that you follow, and social status of the people. All disasters that occur suddenly, sometimes destroying everything, and it's passing on its way. Now it's extremely important to direct all the scientific potential that we have to the areas that are strategically important for the survival of all of the mankind. This is why, dear friends, summing up of the results of today's episode, I just want to say from myself personally, as from the person who devoted almost 15 years of his life to science and continues to do so to this day, to all the viewers and especially to scientists, dear colleagues, friends, if you know the truth about what is happening with the climate on our planet Earth, let's not be silent, let's talk about it. If you know what is needed to be done or to be done today so that humanity can have tomorrow, let's not wait for that, let's act. And if you feel the strength inside of yourself and a need to change the world for the better, let's do it together. Currently, on the platform of International ALLATRA Public Movement, a big number of important projects are being implemented that are aimed for the benefit of the entire humanity. Together, joining our knowledge, experiences, capabilities, and technologies, we can do a lot for the benefit of every single person. We can do so much more because from our common choice at this moment of time to be silent or to speak, to do nothing or to act, the common future will depend upon.
Старая такая картина мира. Многие думают, что вообще климатическая ситуация на планете такая, как на уроках географии, там изучали субтропические.
Also, some old picture of the world has got clearer fixed in consciousness. Many people think that the climate situation on the planet is basically the same as the one that is studied in geography, subtropical, equatorial, tropical, and so on, whereas in fact everything changes so quickly. Even the coastlines are already changing. The trouble is that people expect that even if something happened, it will be happening strictly slowly. Yes, there are no jokes. Those who study this topic from the perspective of science and study seriously, they see that mountains were flooded. And how did so much water appear overnight? Is this because of the glaciers suddenly melted and kilometers of water have appeared? Well, it's mentioned that the earth breathes, it absorbs water, and having contracted gives it away. It has already happened on the planet. They call it tsunami because they don't know where the water came from, yet the water come. And there are a lot of traces everywhere around.